My name is Jean Branty. I am a fourth year, I'm going into my fifth year actually, of my graduate program. I'm in the Department of Molecular and Cellular Biochemistry, and I study viruses in that department. So I want to share a little bit about my first few years in graduate school and some of the difficulties that I encountered, along with some of the lessons I learned along the way. And so the main takeaway from what I'm going to be sharing is fitting in is not the same as belonging, and hear me out. So when I started graduate school, what I had encountered was, given my unique background, I'm from Ghana by the way, and given that I sound like this, and so it's not always obvious that I'm foreign, I found it difficult to fit in, and that was my aim. It was to fit in. When I would express myself using language differently from how it would be used in this dialect or in this particular part of the United States, I found that there were some times that I wasn't able to get my point across, and there were some things I would have difficulty expressing. Not only that, I'll be real, there were times that I faced microaggressions where I internally felt that I didn't belong in this space, that I didn't deserve to be here. And I know somebody else has talked about imposter syndrome, but I felt that too, to a really large extent. In fact, I thought I felt meta imposter syndrome, which was the other people experiencing imposter syndrome were great and I'm the actual imposter. But more on that later. I found that more and more I wasn't beginning to express my authentic opinion because I didn't think it mattered, because I didn't think really anybody was interested in hearing them, because I was just that dumb girl. I didn't realize this was going to be challenging and detrimental to my graduate career, and I thought I could just coast by until I realized more and more if somebody asked for an opinion or for a diverse point of view, I couldn't even think of one because I had muted myself. I had muted my colors. Quite literally, I like wearing bright colors, and I had also muted the diversity of my opinion. And that's when I decided to start taking action, and some of that came in the form of getting therapy. But another part of that also very much was in developing a commitment to making sure that I spoke up and making sure that I understood how I fit in. And it is in trying to fit in that I understood, in the words of Brene Brown, if you haven't heard of her, watch her TED Talk, it will change your life. She mentioned that fitting in is the opposite of belonging. And how that made sense to me was in the form of jamming a key into a lock because you think that's how it's supposed to be. So jamming a key that isn't the right key into a lock a mold that's already made. Realistically, graduate school and the rest of our lives don't have a particular mold. They would rather fit to the way we pay for it. And so gradually, I began relaxing and letting a little bit of myself show. And I found that it didn't always scare people away. I'm not going to tell you it was all roses, because there were still times that there was some oppression to the honesty of my opinions or the honesty of my actions. And I would say that affinity groups were very helpful, and also therapy was very helpful in trying to overcome that. So I'll leave you with this. Don't try to fit in, because there isn't a mold that can contain all of you. Don't clip your wings to fit into some cage that somebody or you yourself might have lied to yourself that you need to fit in. Be yourself, show your colors, and fly as high as you possibly can.